Hello again everybody, this is Amorgin and you're very welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Fleet Command. And today guys, we're looking at this Bortas, a real badass ship altogether guys. This was the original base buster. This was the ship that you were afraid to see hovering anywhere near your station. More often than not, this was the ship that cracked bases when I was back playing on the Founder server a number of months and even years ago now at this stage guys. This was the ship to fear. A number of the people that would have been doing the base cracking back then have moved on now and they're working on Intrepids and Augurs and all sorts of things. But this ship guys, it looks like a badass piece of machinery. The Centurion's very, very pretty. I've done the video on that, check it out. And Pizza Cutter Saladin. But there's the initial cost guys, 1.9 million titanium. And of course the blueprints can be gotten from farming these as well guys, and perhaps in the event some of you guys are getting blueprints for these as well if it works out as we would hope. And I've done a video on how to get blueprints guys, so check that out as well. There's the guns on this ship. Now that's his left kinetic cannon guys. As we go through this we'll see that that's the right kinetic cannon, and then we check it again. That's a recharge time of 2 on that one, is slightly different. And it's 2 guns like this one. So you can see the icons there, like the image of that. They look different. It's something Scopely would need to sort out because it can be a bit confusing for people as to whether these, it says it's all kinetic, but the pictures of them guys are wrong, and the text we're not even sure if it's right. There's certainly 2 different types of guns there, so that's what we're working with on the Bortas. For me, having tiered it up a little bit at level 15, and we'll take it out and we'll see it in action here now very shortly with a variety of different crew setups. And I'd like you guys to leave your feedback on how you think that's working. That tier 3 Bortas, we're going to go out and we're going to hit a couple of mid-level 30s, maybe 34s, 35s, might even chance at 36. There's the stats on it guys at tier 3. Of course crew will affect that. I don't have any crew in the minute. I want to go in with a base. I'm doing this for Hugo. I want to go in with a base hit, and I don't mean hit a base, I mean the base stats on this ship at tier 3 and hit this level 30 just to do a bit of comparison. Should easily defeat that, which it does. So now we'll begin sticking on a decent crew when we look at this. Bit of titanium is always nice. So there we go, 1 round, 1 shot, well, 1 hit kill. Always nice to see 1 round. So quite easily able to handle those level 30s. Even without a crew at its base level at tier 3. Let's stick a crew on it. And to begin, we'll go with a very basic battleship crew. I always like Livis. Gives that 30% hull boost. And as captain, decreases the repair time of course. Kumak gives 10% synergy there. We'll stick Arix in there for a moment. Vimet gives 10% synergy also. Vela. And we might run with that. Javed is there too. Nero of course. We'll come back to them guys later. Okay. So if you guys have done any testing there, messing about with it, let me know, and on your Kumaris and things like that. So because we're going to be hitting explorers, I think we'll put Vela as the captain. That overmatch ability is quite nice. There's a 5% synergy there with him. Powered armor. Arix would be your option instead of Nero there, of course, for a chance of burning it. Nero obviously offers that 25%. And a 25% armor boost there. So arguably could go with Javed and Livis. Two 10% synergy boosts. 30% hull. 9% defense. Very defensive setup and armor. So we'll go with that as a basic battleship crew, guys. And we'll hit this level 30. You guys can do your own wee bit of homework. Let me know in the comments below. Join me on Discord, chat to me there. Just want to do some comparisons with this. Again, a 1 round victory. Decent damage there, guys. Even though it's quite a defensive setup. And Romulan ship destroyed. So we'll come out of this and we'll perhaps change this around now. We want to go with a critical hit setup at some point. We want to go with Gorkin at some point here, with and without Harrison perhaps. Some of this is applicable to any battleship, guys. The Bortas is a mean battleship. It's the level 28 battleship to go for. Nice stats on it there once the officers are in. And we'll go with this through the magic of editing once again, of course. This critical hit crew. This is with Chang and Kerla, alongside Gorkin, of course. There's a level 35 trader. No battle triangle on that, but handled it pretty good. Down to about 50% hull health. Look at these battle logs. Now that was the previous one with Vela as the captain, remember? There's the Romulan trader one. Now it took 4 rounds. Kerla and Gorkin kicked in to start. Critical hit from off the bat. Gorkin kicking in again. Another critical hit. Gorkin and Gorkin. No critical that time, but still significant damage. His shield is gone. And there we go. That's a level 35, guys. That's not to be scoffed at there. That's 6 levels above where I'm at. I'm on combat training 33, about to go to 34, so that bodes well for the future for that. We need to avoid these combat ships, of course. There's a level 34 with this board. It's all repaired. We should defeat this easily if we're able to defeat a level 35 trader. Let's see, this Enterprise style ship. Quite an easy victory there by comparison, guys, and over 500,000 strength on that. Kerla and Gork can kick in 3 rounds. So you can see it's not just the Saladin that this crew is nice on. So we'll send this ship home quickly. That's a 668 strength ship there. Nice critical hit there all the same. Look at that, 221k. So that's defeated a ship more than twice its strength there, guys. You can see why Gorkin is so sought after. Now I doubt we have a hope on this level 36. There you go. We still took it down a fair bit. For an 800k ship, we took it down by about 60%. Went 3 rounds with it. So guys, we're almost done with this Bortas testing. The last configuration I want to look at is with Tabur on the bridge as captain, with Gorkin and Kerla besides. And the abilities we're looking at here is the armour is obsolete. 50% chance for the hull breach, 2 rounds. So we're going with that. And critical hit, of course. Armour piercing. And 75% chance of a hull breach. So just want to see how this goes. We're going to knock it off this level 35 Explorer and check the battle log. And the final setup before we go into looking at a Nero crew. Okay, so just about. We'll let this guy come in and kill me while we look at the battle logs, perhaps. Get that ship home quickly. So level 35 Federation patrol, handled it rightly without Harrison on the bridge. Went for 3 rounds. As the burr kicks in. $70–80k damage. 33k. And a critical hit there, guys, of almost 150k, and that destroyed it. So guys, we're back for this final section with the final crew setup that I'm going with. A Nero crew. 80% increase to the weapon damage if the ship's burning. I'll give it a 25% chance to burn for 2 rounds there. Every time he strikes it. In the beginning of the round, Vimet decreases shield health, and Kumak with the armor, shield deflection and dodge. So we get back out here before this hostile comes off. So we're going to go after a level 35 guys and see how it does. Tempted to go after a level 36, but just a little bit too strong maybe. See what happens here. We should defeat this. No. So the Nero crew certainly not as effective there, guys, as the Gorkin crew. The Nero crew has been a disappointment for many people anyway. Let's take a look at how we fared though. Five rounds. And it took a while, it took till round 3 for Nero to kick in there. Kumak and Vimet kicked in then as well. But by the time it became relevant, we were already on the way out. So quite a disappointment, quite an anticlimax with that Nero crew. So you've seen a few varieties there, guys. That's your Bortas, that's your badass Bortas. I like the ship. I leave you guys to leave your comments and make your own minds up, and until the next video, guys, look after yourselves and look after each other. Like, subscribe, hit the bell as a reminder, remember, for new videos and all of that kind of stuff, and I will catch all of you guys again very, very shortly. Cheers.